Hey guys, how you doing today? Here's a 1989 Honda NX650. In Europe, it's called the Dominator. Um, I had been looking to replace the original shock on the bike, and I saw an article on Thumper Talk talking about replacing it with an XR250R Shock. So what I had done, let me pan over here real quickly, is I went onto eBay and I found myself a I think it's an 89 or a 1990 Honda XR250R Shock, um, which is this guy right here. The original shock, which is this one on the NX650, it took a little bit of work to actually get the spring off the top. I actually had to cut the top of the bands off because it was completely sealed. So when I started looking, and as I mentioned a moment ago, I found this on Thumper Talk, this whole article about the bike, is that a couple of important things to remember about finding a shock for this bike is from one eye to one eye is 13.5 inches. So when you come over to the XR250R Shock, from eye to eye is 13.5 inches. That's number one. I paid about, goodness, I think about $55, $60 US dollars for this shock. Another thing that you'll notice is the spring heights, and they are dramatically different in terms of size. This is the XR and this is the NX. In the article, the gentleman was saying that he was planning on putting the NX spring onto the XR shock, which it'll fit. I need to take it to a shop to get it installed because I don't have a compressor to actually compress this down. And one of the reasons why he wanted to install it is because of the capacity of the spring. As you can also see from the XR, there is this external oil nitrogen canister, which I'll get installed on the bike, and I'll put the clip on and we'll take it from there. Another item that you will also have a problem with, and let me pan over here to my airbox, is the top of the shock. There is a bolt, which is this guy right here. That bolt will press up against the airbox. So what I had done, and you can actually see here, is I cut out the plastic of the airbox, and I put a piece of plastic here, and I put a hole right there. And then on the inside, as you can see, I took a bottle cap, which is just a standard little bottle cap from a plastic bottle, and I glued it in there. So when I mount the shock onto the frame, the nut will now rest inside of this hole, which is fine. You know, it'll keep out water, it'll keep out air, it'll do the job. It fits perfectly now. So one last thing that you will probably have a problem with, which I also did, is the NX650 shock at the bottom, and this is the original nut. Well, this bolt doesn't belong. I'm sorry, this bolt doesn't belong on here, but you get the idea. This shock has threads, so the bolt will go through, get installed, and it will thread right into here. If you actually come over to the XR shock, it doesn't have threads. It's just a straight pass-through. So what I decided to do is I found a 3-inch nut, well 3-inch bolt. I cut it off to fit, and I'll be able to slide that through, and it should fit fine. When the shock gets mounted down into the frame, there is a metal bar that's around the outside edge, so along the edge of it, the bolt, this nut right here, won't press up against the frame of the bike. I should have enough room to make it work. So I really just wanted to show you guys this quick little video of my Honda. The next video that I will do is when the shock is installed on the bike, and I will get back to you guys. Hope you enjoyed.